All right, we're having a hell of a matchup here between G2 and North here at the grand finals of ESL Pro League Season 5 in Dallas, Texas. North coming out quite confident, as we saw a tweet a little bit earlier from that side. I think you can read it for yourself. Quite a bit of confidence, even though they're dropping the first map. And a little bit of a talking point there over at the desk. I'm going to hand it over to them now. Take it away, Moses.
Thank you, Sana. That's not a bad flag.
Spicy.
That is a spicy, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I like the banter. Keep it coming.
We do have a lot of banter on the way.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the French had to use it a fair amount in recent history. So.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Political.
Yeah,
there's nowhere to really go.
Have the Danes ever been in a war, though? What do they do?
I don't know.
Probably not a lot.
Probably not, based off. If Anders is any indication.
Yeah.
They don't do much.
That's grim.
They don't do much. Let's move on to Cbble, because Cash has lost. That was G2's pick. We said it was maybe one of the weaker maps in this 5-map pool that we have for Northside, but still make it a close affair without pistol rounds, without back-to-back CT rounds. They have a lot of good things going for them. Gave them a chance down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. I thought you were looking at Yanko, but you're looking at me. Sorry, we got this going. Yeah. I think that it was still a close affair. They did lose both pistols, like you just said. And that the worrying sign for me is that config cooled off again. I just wanted to carry through and just obliterate for the whole game. That'd be exciting. AZ needs to chime in a little bit more. But going into this map of Cobblestone, the biggest issue I see, or at least I remember or recall, is the way that they approach their T side. It seems so dependent going B. B executes, fast Bs. There's just too much pressure for North heading towards that one site. And I haven't seen them, go over to A, get some map territory like we saw out of Liquid, and then head back to the B side. They seem very stubborn in their T-side approach historically.
True, and you also wonder if this is the correct pick for North, considering that G2 only has one loss on this map, and that's 16-14 to Gambit, who is regarded as one of the world's best cobblestone teams. So in a best-of-5 series, is this really the map that you want to go for as the second one?
You guys had mentioned that this was a little bit of a questionable pick in the veto phase.
If they lose this, it could be a 3-0. And Henry could be right, and that would suck.
Oh, God, that would suck. That would be...
Wouldn't hear the end of it, would be?
Yeah. That would just be the worst.
I think a positive thing for G2, right, is that Kenny had that carry performance. Yeah. Everyone else kind of got to warm into the game behind him, right? So even if they started slow, he was like, here, I'm here for you guys. Get on my back. Let's go. So now, going into Cobblestone, everyone else started to, fire up a little bit. We saw multi-frags out of a lot of the players, and that was a positive. What do we miss?
I don't know. I didn't see it either. Crowd's having a good time.
Must have been hilarious.
Had to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about G2 a little bit on this map. Even in previous iterations of French lineups, this Cobblestone map seemed to be one that they kept in their back pocket, that they still maintained some level, some standard on it, that they could be impactful on the international stage.
It's a map on which they're very comfortable individually, right? The likes of Shox and Kenny. Shox. There was that one game, Envy versus G2, when they were still in different teams, where Kenny had 30+ kills, but Shox had 40 kills or something crazy, and just was able to carry G2 to victory in that one game. So a very, very menacing appearance from him towards that drop zone. He can just take over by himself. The rest of the team can be on the other side of the map and just wait for him to create space and make a play.
This map, like many maps, can be punished more so with the double orbs on the CT side, right? If you are North and you can exploit their economy and make sure they can't get in. If you're getting into clean executes and you're getting the site and they're staying behind the smokes and not making plays and not making trades, once you have that man advantage, it's very difficult for them to retake with 2 ops, because Shox love to pick it up. Kenny loves it as well. Obviously, Kenny loves it, right?
Yeah, Kenny
and on this one, this is one of the maps where I don't really like double ops if you're not going to use it aggressively.
Right. So all that's happening really is Kenny's just showing up on screen, and the crowd is loving it. We know it's a heavily favored G2 crowd. North, not a lot of support here, perhaps after they eliminated Team Liquid. But this now, second map of the grand finals, Yako?
If anything, if North can come back on this map after a close loss on Cash, which wasn't their pick, where they had an amazing first half, that's going to give you a lot of hope coming into the rest of this series. That means they're able to reset, that they're able to play G2 no matter the map, no matter how maybe objectively G2 is favored on it. So it is going to be a very, very difficult task for North, but if they can overcome it, then we have a very interesting series on our hands.
This is where your boy MBK had the big performance against SK, right, earlier on in the tournament. So it could be a chance for him to step up and be counted. He was the bottom fragger, but they did win the game, so maybe a lot of impact from him
all
this
that
game.
matters is that win, is that map win.
It's all about the win.
It's all about the win. Yeah, I mean, he would be a great player. I mean, we talked about, the stars are always huge for the G2 side of things, but we talk about they have a great supporting cast and guys like NBK and Body. Either way, map 2 is about to go live. It's 1-0 for G2. North need to get back onto this one. Henry, Sadikis, back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much. Yes, Moses, it's not really a studio, but it makes the job quite easy back here in the dark with you, Henry.
I like being in the dark, Matthew. It's going to be another great map coming in. This is North's pick, Cobblestone. And it looks like North starting on the T side here, trying to go very quickly indeed in towards the B bomb site. One smoke deployed. Here come the flashbangs as well. The heavy commitment, all 5 players on this side of the map. Let's go, body to defend.
Body to defend successfully as well. He gets the shot out of Magisk. As AZ's a little bit timid around the corner, he wants drop taken over first from Config, and that works successfully. As soon as he gets those 2 kills, out comes AZ, and they're going to push from either side. Kenny out of KFC. Config actually doesn't want to. Backed off it, had his chance, because now he's covered off from Rock. He's got to go fight elsewhere. Shocks is menacing him, and as such, Kenny has the chance to peek out. This is a problem. They should have capitalized when they had the chance on Kenny. Config says that's enough. I'm going for it. Tagged up in his movement. Slowed down in the air. AZ's just getting into the site now. Kenny's won it out, staying alive that long. This is going to be the round. Surely they needed to get him sooner.
Very fast approach there from North. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. Like we said, body to defend. He finds the first shot, buys his team some time, some rotation there, and it's going to be the Glocks doing some great work. Config stepping up once again in the pistol. Wasn't quite enough there. You could see them being apprehensive. Didn't want to rush down Kenny, allowing his teammate to back him up. And at that point, Config just had to go for it. Taken down by Kenny S. And AZ, pretty poor approach there. Didn't really, he had plenty of time on the board. Just ran out in the open. Was hoping for the best. Didn't work out. It's going to be North with the force buy here in the second round. Tech-9's armor. A couple of smokes to work with as well. Another B-sided attack. Config's pushed through the smoke. They've got flashbangs to work with here. He takes a heavy nade as he goes down to 60 HP. CT's ready for this, but Shoxy's pushed through.
Config pushed behind Shocks. So they're on either side of each other, and Shocks is the one that comes out better off for it. Relays the information, and Config's found. Just has made decent work of the situation, getting 3 kills. He has to find all of them to win out the round. He's got 16 HP and a Tech-9 to do it. Body's lost track of him, though, so he could actually pick up another one. Body nearly evading him. Will go down. But the positioning favors Shocks. Tech-9! Magisk from range, and Ace clutch to pull it back. That's incredible.
Unbelievable scenes, Matthew. 5 kills at the Tech-9 and the 2v1 as well with 16 HP. What a shot that was. He can't believe it himself. A shake of the mouse there. No bomb plant required. Shoxy actually had the bomb on the upper platform and everything. Oh, God. Okay, North's map pick. They bounce back after losing the pistol, but of course, a G2 will be forcing a return. Very disappointing round for them to concede in number 2 there. They get 1 UMP, an M4, and 3 pistols to work with here. North right back into this one. 4 UMPs for them, 1 AK-47. G2 are known to be very, very good on these sort of buys. We'll see whether they can step up here. Difficult on Cobblestone, I have to say. Not so many opportunities to find those opening frags with the pistols, but there was a man to do it. Kenny S top middle could be the one. Shoxy towards B with the M4A4. Down to 75 HP, and there's the first shot. Kenny S gives his position up.
Big getting faced by 2. Let's take it down, and Shocks does well from range on the M4. Very coordinated peek between the 2 G2 players, and they went out the duel as a result of it. So very well done. That starts things off and forces North back over toward the A site, where MSL's already in battle and already tagged up to 68. Ooh, poor timing, Apex. I thought he knew he was there.
4 on 2 now, Matt. It's going to be up to Mage's Boy and AZ. No bomb planted, of course. Both coming up middle is making a ton of noise as well. And it's going to be lots of damage inflicted. Apex takes down 1. Just Mage's Boy now, and Apex with the double. 4 spies back to back. And it's going to be G2 coming in strong with that single M4 as well. Like you said, Shock's doing a great job there towards the upper platform. Very coordinated push with 2 players facing at the same time, give them double targets. Shoxy has the aim to back it up as well. Funnels him back towards the A site. Timings elude MSL as he comes out along A. Smoke in his hand, taken down by the CZ. It's going to be another force buy, of course. We're getting into one of those really interesting games where this can go on for about 5 or 6 rounds. Historically, it seems to, especially in the Pro League.
Flash through from the smoke. They're all there.
Yeah.
Patient. Try and capitalize.
There we go.
Found by Config. And it's an SMG picked up, which means he can start to fire away at range. It has been nerfed at range, remember, but it still seems to be doing the trick in patient situations as MSL goes to the pistol to find body, but a nade through from Apex, and NBK still wide. He's able to take down bomb. That's round. Nearly takes his teammate, but not quite.
Good recovery from G2 there. North, known to be so deadly with their full executions towards the B site. Smokes all over the place, flashbangs as well. idea behind that play is to segregate the CTs, bring them down to single duels there. And it worked out at the start, at least for North. They managed to get the first 2 picks, but MBK coming to life with 3 kills in total, doing great work with the fam. As you can see, Apex chiming in there with the HE grenade. MBK, great round by him. And that should subside things now, Matt. It's going to be 3-1 in favor of G2 and a full eco coming in. No bomb planted in the previous round. So just Glocks and P250. Shocks now finding some success as he takes down Config.
Great peek it. For there, he's got to be careful. Besides, he wants more. Shocks using the box is very, very brave, considering 12 HP. He's got a pistol out, and his teammates say, okay, that's fine. We know where they all are. Thanks for that. We'll look at the flank coming in as well as Apex shows up with the MP9.
Now, Matt, this is North's pick, right? They're already 1 map down. We move on to Overpass next. I feel like if North do not pick up their map pick on Cobblestone, it is going to be the 3-0. I think G2's Overpass looks way too strong right now. Oh, you liking those chickens? You liking the chickens?
Synchronized head dance.
Pretty good.
Just beaking away over there.
As usual. Well, here we go then. The first real gun rounds. If you want to call it that, it's going to be AK-47s, along with the Kenny S, AWP on the CT side. He's towards top and middle for now. Very, very strong on this map as well. It's going to be Apex towards long A. Trying to battle off AZ, who takes a nade to the face.
Not much you can do.
No, he doesn't watch that.
Yeah, just stare at it. Look into the sun. Flash is good. Apex is backed. Smoke goes down. Kenny manages to get back to the corner. He wants to bait them toward Apex.
It works.
Only got 1. It does work because it actually was a team kill from himself, so you might as well call it the dead trade on that. And North is down in this situation. Cajun's backing off, cowering away from A with the bomb to join Config and Magisk over toward B.
Looking very promising for G2 here. 4-on-3 situation, but the bomb's making its way back towards B. Majors, Config, and Cajun with 1 smoke, a couple of Molotovs to work with. Drop down room obtained. MBK watching the window though. It's a very powerful position. Good for 1 or 2 frags. We have 1 player waiting the B side. That's Shoxy. Only got the UMP, so he could struggle here. Needs to find at least 1 frag. He has been going down quite consistently. Let's see if North can detect him.
He bounces down the stairs, forces him up. Shocks found as a result. Good position now for Cajun. And when it's that KFC, the rotation, it's dead. Magisk is in prime location. Kenny has no idea. MBK down, the only one left in the site. Very well done from North, getting back around.
4-on-3, and it's Shoxy once again, who wants to take the duel by himself on the upper platform. Needs to be careful. He's had some great rounds, sure. He's currently top of the server, but he's been caught out there 2 or 3 times now, overextending. They had the man advantage. He could just have the crossfires on the bomb site. He's got the UMP, like he said, it's been nerfed now. That sort of encounter is not ideal. He gets taken down by the AK-47, trying to push in front of the Molotov, and it's North pulling 1 back. We do still have money available for the French side, though. Apex down to the shotgun. Not necessarily a big deal on Cobblestone. It seems to be one of the few maps who really see the shotgun do some serious work. Obviously this time with the AWP, not Kenny S. He'll be patrolling the upper platform. Had a bit of trouble there in the previous rounds. Let's see if we can get rolling here in number 7. North looking to get a couple of rounds in a row. Yet to do so.
Double flash. Boost up in the corner, likely for Config. Take that back. It's actually going to be Cajun that goes up. Good smoke. Position from the shotgun. Apex cleanly takes AZ, jumps back in, can't land it. MSL, not only did he get Apex in that, he actually just finished killing Kenny when he jumped into his crosshair, so things go very well for North. 1 HP as well for MBK.
Yeah, the fire at his feet as well. Did very well to survive. MSL, like you said, 2 frags. And as Apex jumped around the corner, I thought he's guaranteed to find that second Max 7 shot, but didn't happen for him. 3-on-3 now. Shoxy still with the AWP. Watching the upper platform. He has been taken down so many times here. He's going for it again. Can he actually find a kill here? He can indeed. The bomb's dropped as well.
Whoa. Smart relocation. Highs and lows of the crowd's joy as Cajun pulls it back, but MBK is there. Excited again, but MBK, yeah, he should. Oh, he's gonna beat it. He's gonna get in position before Config lands. Smart to attack. Fight or flight, and the flight works. It's gonna be 5-2 G2.
NBK with 1 HP, stepping up there, 3 kills in total. That's not bad at all. Here's MSL trying to find the kill on Kenny S. There it is. That's where it came in. So Kenny S didn't have the AWP. There's to point out as well as Shoxy on the other side of the map. So he had the M4, tried to get the refrag and back Apex up. They both go down, but it's enough to win the round, and that's going to be North. Reset once again, but they have forced board into this match. It's going to be one AK-47, 4 Tech-9s. This will be the full execute once again. We know this is very powerful for North. They always have a chance to win these sort of rounds. Let's see what they can do. Config with the only AK-47, trying to find the first kill. Like Shoxy once again.
Saw the foot, but Shock somehow sprays in to win it. Smoke goes down as well, and it's going to be fast this time. Down drop. MBK can't land the shots. He has to back off the window, and they'll wrap 2 E-Box, but just to hold off the window, that nade could do it. It just bounces far enough. Means AZ's got to look back to the door. He can't cover off himself from the statue. Just 2 that remain for North, and it could go to 6-2. This is a very crucial map. The desk pointed out why.
Yeah.
They also said you were going to rub it in if you were right about the 3-0, Henry. Is that true?
Am I going to rub it in? I think I'm quite a nice person.
Yeah,
do that.
But you are a sore winner. It is going to be NBK closing out the round, so we are in that exact situation as aforementioned, and no money for North, really. Force situation, they've only got a 2-round bonus. This will be a 3rd, so they'll have to keep themselves around 2K. Unless they get a bomb plant, obviously. Yeah. But you can't necessarily rely on that when you have options not to.
Yeah, they went for the force buy in the previous. I mean, they have about 2K per player. That B execution not really working out for them this time. MBK finding kills towards drop down, funneling them into the upper platform, and couldn't really get rolling there at all. It's going to be a full eco here. 6-2 on the CT side. Quite the scoreline in favor of the French side. MP9s and UMPs coming out, trying to farm some cash here. They know they're up against pretty much nothing. Blocks, no armor, no nades. 1 Deagle for MSL. It's going to be difficult to imagine a world where he's winning the round with just that pistol. Down he goes. And this looks like quite a clean and convincing round for G2. Doesn't know they'll give up a single frag, but a headshot for Config. Backed up by Body though. It's going to be Shoxy retreating. 5 players survive, and we have a pause coming in. A chance to recalibrate. Money's not amazing. So, I'd assess it on cash. MSL is one of those great in-game leaders. He's very good at changing the pace completely just when the team gets comfortable to what he's presenting. He's done a lot of execute so far, and especially on this map, he's known to be throwing in those fast A rushes. He goes straight down the mid-ramp, and just as he knows where the orb might be positioning towards B, or they're going to be having maybe 4 on that side of the map, he just rushes up middle. No real tactic about it. 1 smoking connector, try and get the refrags, and that might be what they're discussing right now. What's the approach? Can't really afford the AWP. We have $5,200 on Cajun. He could get it, sure, but I don't think that's the right call right now. He brings out the AK-47. I want to see something a bit faster, I think, from North. Especially when you know they've got the MP9, the UMP on the CT side. Trying to overwhelm them with the firepower. And here we go again. Any chicken fans in the house?
I had some chicken for lunch between maps.
I haven't had any food.
Well, that's your own fault. Don't blame me, Henry. You always try to.
Yeah, famously.
AZ being very passive this time. In fact, most of North is. So the opposite of fast, Henry.
Indeed.
Look at this crossfire set as well toward long. Kenny and Apex. Flash goes in. Apex fairly blinded by that, but chooses to fire early. Apex goes down. They actually solve it. That's not one I would have expected, but the MP9 was definitely not the right weapon.
Yeah.
Trying to bait it in. He didn't really have a chance once Kenny missed the shot.
Okay, AZ.
Is perfect. Sees it, double taps it, nails it. Body's got the just back, but AZ, as we already saw, or excuse me, MSL, I guess. AZ, as we saw, was already in that same position, but he's able to wrap around to find the kill.
Wow.
Shox is left with not much to work with on just the UMP. See if he can do some economic damage, because it is going to be, as I believe I said, a 3-round reset this time around. Yeah, so it'll be 3 rounds back to 0.
Shoxy, like he said, just trying to find any kills he can possibly get. There's one. MSL drops in the hands of the UMP. He might upgrade to the AK as well. Just about reaches it through to the vent. 3 players survive now. So every kill Shoxy gets damages North going forward. Their money's currently at 0. They'll get 3,500 if the bomb goes off. So that's locked in. But if he takes any more players down with him, that could be great. Shoxy surely being found at this point through the door. It's Config to get the final kill. 3 players do survive for North, so no real damage done there. Shoxy got 1. Plenty of money available for G2 going forward now.
I think they wanted the knife, Henry.
They wanted the knife?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if they told you, but everyone in the crowd told me they hate you because you messed up Moses' knife.
How did I mess it up?
Actually, he messed it up. You're right.
Surely. How can I mess that up? But 7-3, G2, no double orb set up yet. That's normally been a crutch for G2, especially on these sort of maps, Shoxy and Kenny S. But that hasn't come out as of yet. We'll see whether they plan to deploy it anytime soon. Back towards B, the execution up to Config to find the first pick once again. It has been the nemesis for Shoxy, who's currently waiting beneath, and could find him once again. Spots ahead as Shox go down first.
Very nearly didn't. Goes back in. Good shot body in response. A little quieter this game. BK, though, good timing. Oh, flashes are not favorable, though. If he got through, that second one didn't land, he would have been in prime position. He still is! He still got it! MBK, with 4 inside of his sight, picks up another for G2 and a reset for North.
Just mowing them down at this point. MBK, ups and downs in this tournament. This map has proven to be spectacular for him. 4 kills after Shoxy went down to the hands of Config as well. MBK at the top of the scoreboard, 12 kills, 4 deaths. Shox not far behind. And we'll have a look at the other side. North, it's going to be Magisboy on 7. No one really fragging that hard in the last few rounds. That's another harsh reset. After winning 1 map, they're going to have $1,400 in this round. You can see that reflected in the buy. B-Rush, MBK's waiting for them. Double kill once again.
Double kill, one with flames, and damage done to everyone else that made it through. Picking away is AZ, but Kenny still manages to get a shot off, and Body's quick to act upon the result of that. It's now Cajun with just 17 HP bomb, and not really much chance of planting it, although he's picked up an AK. It's Apex on the site waiting. Prime position.
They went for that fast approach, like we said. MSL, good at changing the pace, but this time running through the fire, a drop down. MBK can't believe his luck. He's dropped an incendiary. They take a lot of damage as Rugger. Dire times for this team in the grand final. Yet to win an event since Epicenter, which seemed like the beginning of an era for this team. They'd be consistently getting to grand final. So much talent available that since AZ joined, they seem to have almost dropped off slightly. He's had a difficult time with them.
That's a good point. He certainly hasn't brought what they were expecting when then Rubino parted ways with them.
Indeed.
Smoke goes in and gets extinguished, doesn't bounce back, so there's a massive gap they're going to push through as a result. Shox still manages to find a kill. And it's Body that they walk toward next, but he's not getting shots, and they're getting ground. He's on 4 HP before he puts the bomb down. Thankfully, he's got a teammate, in fact 2, MBK and Kenny. They're going to get in position, although Kenny is the one to get the kill from range on the pistol.
Not the most comfortable rounds ever for G2, but they've got double digits now, Matt, on the CT side of Cobble. Overall, they're feeling very secure right now. It's going to be 5 AKs once again from North. 3rd stage loss bonus, meaning they get $2,400 into their bank accounts. So 5 AKs limited on the execution potential. No Molotovs there, only a couple of flashbangs. Has to be a default, go for that long A control, which worked out before. Let's see if they can do it again.
Shox with the first stop and the first kill. Config walks in toward it. AZ, MSL, and Cajun over toward A as a result of it. And Apex already backing off. He's going to play front stables, which means he's got some control of the peak, but we know how flimsy that wall can be. Thankfully for his sake, he moves. Kenny doesn't hit the shot. He'll go toward Romeo instead. Or Juliet. I suppose she was the one that was up on the balcony, wasn't she? Now he's in Romeo. Goes in, makes no mistake about it. He's a bit of a romantic, but he's certainly deathly as well as he takes down AZ on the second shot. Cajun will get him back, but that doesn't really amount to much because it's 1 kill, bomb down on the site, and a swarming pack of G2 players with Body as well on the flank. It's going to lock them in.
Yeah, it's over. Magisboy in the 4 versus 1. They try to go towards long A, and okay, Magisboy has got a small chance in this one now. They know exactly where he is, and like you said, Body coming off the flank as well. Surely Magisboy can't win another clutch here.
Body's got the kill. 11 rounds on the CT side for G2. I think Cbble was always going to be a good map for them, as Yanko alluded to when Envy played G2 in the old rosters. Kenny was exceptional, but G2 had Shox carry them with 40-plus kills. And both these players now on one team, it's only mean one thing.
Yeah, we saw a lights-out performance from G2 in this tournament against SK on this map as well. So North not really rising to the occasion. This is their map pick. Already 1 map down. They lost on Cash, which is, of course, G2's pick. And now the final round coming in. Looking for 12 for his G2, and making quite a convincing case of it as well, considering the weaponry available for North. UMPs, Tech-9s, and a Galil. Shoxy once again aggressive towards the upper platform. He has been getting frags, but normally only 1. Fall back at this point. Double orb setup, which we were waiting for, comes in, and the commitment to a drop down. It's up to MBK to defend.
Just spraying off corners in the smoke, but AZ's going to wrap around the other way. Head toward A. He's got to turn back because MBK's found damage through the doorway instead of pushing out, which he should have potentially done because Kenny and Apex are just sitting in the site. With the bomb already down. The pinch play toward A never really makes it through connector. That's an easy vision, but Apex still saves him.
Yeah, clean sweep it seems. Just Magisboy now. Another fast approach. They're looking a bit desperate, I have to say, Matt. Money's been a problem. Every round they win is being shut down. They had the second round forced by victory, but since then, almost nothing. 12-3 in favor of G2 Esports here, and North looking like they're completely removed from this grand final. After a great first half in the first map, they've dropped off significantly.
Yeah, North having only won 6 rounds in the time and space that G2 has now won 23 over the last 2 halves that we've played. 2 different maps, but this time it's G2. 12-3 at half. It's North's turn to try and dig deep and find a response. So a dominant half from G2 and a stark contrast in stats to how Config has looked for most of the weekend.
Yeah.
6 and 13. Compare that to NBK on the other side, 6 and 16 with 120 ADR. It's over double that which Config has achieved. And here's an interesting one for you too, Henry. 50% of the first deaths that North have achieved have been from Config, so he's being a little bit over-aggressive as well in this map.
He likes to play that upper platform position, trying to crack open the side like he was in Cash as well. Hasn't really done it to the same effect, unfortunately. But let's get into the second half, shall we? 12-3 in favor of the French side, going quite quickly towards the long A area as well. Config spots him. It looks like an A split will be coming in eventually. Shoxy towards drop down, and CT seems to be aware as well. Shoxy should be going down here. There it is. MSL finds him, but MBK striking back.
Strike back, but it's not equal just yet. Now it's answered. His body gets hit, and MBK knew that MSL was in the corner. Could play Config, but the problem is it's over toward A where the bomb is. It's downed. And it's down in convincing fashion. And it's bound by Config to get Kenny S as well. So good position for him. It looked like there was going to be a problem if they gave up too much at connector, but just enough from MSL to slow down MBK. And as you say, Config backpedaling all the way to the barrels works out.
Yeah, good job by Config there. Nice and calm. Waiting in the back of the A site, hits 3 stellar headshots, and not really much GT can do there. It's looking so good for them as well. That fast A split. Shoxy throwing a spanner in the works towards connector as well. They're finding all the kills required. But Config, he finds some form finally here. We're going to round number 2. No force buy from the terrorist side. They're doing that tactic once again, Matt. It's going to be the Galils on the 3rd round. And you can see it's going to be 3 SMGs from North. A couple of rifles as well, so they are prepared for this somewhat. But we saw this yesterday from G2. It was a very impressive strategy. Obviously, you remember the Molotov being thrown down, throwing yourself into it, just trying to deny any sort of kill reward from these SMGs. So if they see a Molotov again, don't be surprised if we'll just jump in, cuddle up, and let the flames take over.
Yeah, that was actually very cool to watch. Next level meta. Like we say, we're going to have everyone firing through the wall like Body. Config bomb as well. Like Body does on Cash to break the map, and then everyone diving into Molotovs now, Henry.
Yeah.
The game has been broken. Well, North got the start so far that they've needed on this half. We'll see if they continue to convert these rounds. Config goes down again, can't land the spray. Does significant damage onto Body, but they've recovered the bomb, and they've got a gun to pick up. AZ's got to be careful, he's running out of ammo. Thankfully, MSL's in position to help him out. Goes to the pistol. MSL comes around the corner to help him with that one as well.
Well, here it comes, though. Presumably, the Galils come out in round 3. It's almost standard these days to force buy in the second after not getting the bomb down in the pistol, and it will indeed come in. So MBK, he actually gets an AK and head armor. Same story for Body as well. I actually really like this approach. Considering the SMG world we live in now in CSGO, this actually makes a lot of sense, right? They're buying up all the SMGs, and people are relying on UMPs right now. If you can bring rifles out in the third and surprise them, that's actually a really cool idea, and it's happening once again. They've got a few smokes to work with as well. So, AK-47's Galils, and Shoxy just down to the CZ. They will not fire a single bullet until they absolutely have to. They don't want to give away this is a possibility. Waiting for any CTs to go aggressive here. You can see holding very tight angles, seeing if they go eco-hunting, perhaps MBK especially. You can see that very cheeky angle looking towards long A.
Apex starts the way through. Config can hear it. Free fires, gotta run though. I'm out. Molotov sends G2 back the other direction, so all things well for Config. AZ's still waiting top mid as well, so even if they wanted to try and pinch him off now by wrapping around, they couldn't do so, but I say that, they certainly can now. Good shot by Body.
Yeah, that was sick. Okay, 4-4 now. It's up to the SMGs to retake it. MSL feeling brave, pushing through the smoke as well. Has to do a lot of work here. Good HE grenade to push them back. They won't take too much damage, but he upgrades to the M4 now. Oh, Shoxy, this is beautiful.
Yeah, such good positioning. Easy picking, swings in. Config, no idea that he's up close. Suddenly, it's down to just 2 remaining. And both of those two, Magisk and Cajun, have to rotate over through the smoke. Already spotted him and holds true on the trigger. Kenny will go down, but he's tagged up significantly, Cajun, and that might be enough for them to back off. Yep, they're going to save. So it's going to go 13 rounds G2, just 3 to go to close out map number 2.
Oh, yeah, they need to save these weapons. They have about 2K per player right now. Saving the FAMAS and the UMP means they get 1,400 on top, and they probably can just about squeeze out a buy. They're AZ with nothing, so he'll be down to probably just a pistol, maybe drop the weapon. It's going to be 13-5, though, on North's pick. And I have to say, so far, in terms of superstar grand final performances, on the North side, we've only really seen Config step up in that first half. We know he's been a star player so far, playing some of the best CS of his career this tournament, but that's not going to be enough to win a grand final against a team like G2. You can't just have one player shining above and beyond the rest of them. We need AZ to step up. We need Major Sport. You've been a big fan of his for a while now, and we just haven't really seen him in the last few tournaments. Why do we think he's dropped off so significantly?
Yeah, it's definitely curious. It's obviously, when you've got a player like Config on your team that's so aggressive, it sometimes is difficult to find a rhythm around him.
Yeah.
And we know, especially on this map, they've actually swapped positions. The phenomenal performance on the CT side that Magisk put up, he played long A. It's now Config over there, and I think that's due to stylistic sort of positioning.
When they had that great performance against Virtus Pro. Yes,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so they have made some role changes, or at least, maybe not role, but positional changes. I'm just wondering if Magisk is feeling a little bit, I guess, squandered in the way that he's able to play.
Well, there's MSL. And Matthew, where do you play your Counter-Strike?
Typically, I play it on ESCA, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I do, actually, yeah. I don't play much due to travel, but I always had the best experiences there with Pugs jumping in. I usually had teammates that were not trolls like you are, so it was pretty good. Well, they didn't rage at me all the time like Chad does, so
it's a safe place.
Where I play. Yeah, exactly.
Friendly people, great Counter-Strike. Check it out, ESCA.net. Anyway, back into round number 19. 13-5, a desperate situation now for North up against, I was about to say, Shoxy that max 10. He comes out on top of the refrag, almost certainly coming here, but AZ's fighting back. He gets the man advantage with that FAMAS. He has to pull back at this stage. The only player on the A side of the map, 2 players at the bottom and middle. His teammates not rotating over just yet. He's by himself. This frag is key. Managed to get the dink on an MBK as well.
Yeah, straight dink. Down at 23. Molotov, does it make it? Yes. He's going to try and actually beat them to it. Going to the barrel, staying aggressive because they know he's there. And he likewise knows that in turn, so he wants to try and fight. Nade puts him on 15. Better still, Body burns him. Next, we'll take Cajun with a fast and convincing play to swing around the APC. Once again, it's just 1 versus 2. Can't be aggressive anymore. He could certainly try and clutch things back late round. Bomb's not crossed. It's still down toward mid. Body's holding it, and they could go any direction they want with 50 seconds to work with. They have to make some decision relatively soon, but they've got time to do so with it positioned toward mid.
Yeah, this is looking very promising now for G2. Biding their time, still with 40 seconds remaining as well. Good smoke. Major's boy's gonna have to dig deep here to really get anything going. No kip, that bomb gets planted. That could be a problem. Good start, good damage inflicted, but Cinder could actually stop the bomb going down as well. Oh, not quite. So Major's boy knows he's got a chance now.
There's a gap behind it. Body stays at the cannons. He would have known exactly where Body was.
Kind of yours?
Yeah, it's actually Donald Duck, I think is his name.
This guy will
About as equally as intelligent these days, but it would have been him finding exactly where Body was. So Apex came in to defend his teammate aggressively, and it works out. And it's now just 2 rounds to go for G2, and the money is very grim. Config on a scout, the rest on pistols.
Yeah, this is not looking great. Config is a great scout player. The pistols around him, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Config towards middle, of course, needs to try and find his opening pick. There's a chance to step up. This would be it, but has to fall back now. Drops a smoke in response. Shoxy boosted up, just waiting for a CT to potentially walk into their crosses. They've got so much time. They know the money's low. They want to kind of get a handle on the situation and work out what kind of buy is coming forward. Could be UMPs, could be pistols. I'm not 100% sure.
Forward with guns toward B they go. Body seems to be the one to lead the charge. Bounce Molotov down the stairwell and head in. Jiska's gonna have to run. Doesn't go Hobbit hole, he actually gets closer. So no gimmicks in the round, no positional play to try and surprise. Into the corner, might get one jumping down, but they spot him right away. Body gets the kill. Apex throws a nade toward E-Box that does massive damage. In fact, takes down MSL. Huge nade. And it's just Config on his scout, already sprayed through the door. They know where he's coming from. It's a likely situation. They've already cleared out B, so he's got to be there somewhere. 15-5, convincing thus far, 1 to go.
North looking pretty dejected right now, and rightly so. 15-5, no money going into potentially the final round here as well. G2 is operating as a very solid unit. They lost the pistol here in the second half, but that third round forced buy is proving to be quite an interesting approach. He's worked against SK, now against North in the grand final as well. Bring those AKs out actually breaks the meta in terms of, like we said, the SMGs being so powerful in this game. You bring out the rifles and they're not expecting it as well. I actually really like that. And I think that's an approach we're going to see from a lot of teams, and especially the major coming up soon as well.
This major is going to be very exciting with the way things are going.
This team arriving especially.
Yeah, we're about to get our 5th. Either way, even if North pulls this series back, but we're about to get our 5th winner of a large-scale premier-level tournament this year, which last year we had 10 in total, for those who kept track, which was impressive. Yeah, that's very impressive. Probably the most amount of different winners in any year of Counter-Strike ever, and we're on pace to do similar this year. I think it's maybe not going to make 10 based on who's performing right now.
Sure.
But there's almost a chance things change quite quickly in the scene. Expect we'll get at least 6 or 7. Smoke bounce down off toward the window. Body closer still. Spots the player on top of the stairs, and they'll make no mistake finding his head. Cajun removed from the round, and a solo shotgun. Small to get 1. Tries to go back in to get further damage on the tag. It's NBK that's down to 12, but he's still in the round, and that's the important aspect against 2 pistols. Numbers matter, so too do weapons. There's none for North to work with except the Deagle. Lazy with 1. But I think it's about done because Config's running out of ammo. It's through the door. Kenny confirms it. They go up 2-0 with 1 map to go in the series.
Very convincing stuff there. This is North's map pick as well. 16-5, a dominating affair there for G2. To be fair, if you talk about 1-star players heading up for North, it's fair to say G2, they're looking great across the board. Everyone's having their moments. They're finding frags. Individually, there's like a very even scoreboard distribution, so that's looking great for them. And move on to overpass, Matt. I think that's a problem. I think the 3-0 could be happening here.
Yeah, how much trouble north of the wall really exists. We'll send it over to the King of the North, Moses, standing by with the desk.
Oh my word, that is a dominant win from G2. North didn't even have a chance in that match. It was just, from start to finish, G2 just runs away with it.
Their game plan early on, you know, playing in front of those B execute smokes was amazing. You know, every time the execute came in, Config was ahead of the pack, dying before utility even got down to cover him to give him a chance to entry. And then the rest of the players were just being stunted. You know, Body, MBK, both in front of the smoke, willing to fight every time, make it very difficult for them to get the bomb down. Can't get the bomb down, your economy struggles, you have a really hard time. Early on, it looked like it was going to be a brawl, right? They had won that force buy back. It was good to see. But then they just got force bought back themselves, just playing disjointed, not together, one at a time, peeking areas. When they were doing executes, they looked more dangerous, but it just wasn't enough.
They should have taken a page out of Liquid's book, how to play those anti-force buy rounds on the T side. And in this particular game, those B executes did not work out for them. And even when they wanted to go towards A, they couldn't even take control of A holes. Apex and Kenny were there playing close up. And more often than not, they would have a very strong hold. And North would have to play with a man or two down. I
mean, this is much like on Cash we saw in that second half. They could never string 2 rounds together. Same issue in the first half of this Cbble is they win 3 rounds as terrorist, and they just could never string them together, just constantly being reset. And you usually say on the T side, the economy is a little bit easier to manage, and still couldn't do it.
It was hard to do, right, because they weren't getting plants, like I said, so you're not getting that cheeky bonus here, there, and everywhere. And Magic's boy, he won a round on his own, and then on top of that, when I say on his own, he had an ace. He had 5 frags in that round. And then going forward from there, he only made another 3 in the entire game. His impact has been muted completely. You can't even see him.
You add on to Magisk AZ as well, who had another rough game. Cajun B down to 54 ADR. MSL with 45. I mean, they only had one player above 70 damage per round on this team, and that was Config.
AZ's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday. Not the best present you could do.
I really do hope that he went out last night and got completely destroyed, and that's why he's playing like shit, because it's just been too much right now. Every playoff series that matters, pretty much, he's nowhere to be seen, and you can't really even say, oh, he's just a role player for the team or this or that. I mean, he has to do better than this. And AZ is not a player, he was never a Zipix in a sense that he was always a support player and you never expected much of him. He was a star player. Where did that go? What happened to him?
Yeah, normally we do isolate players if they're not, performing. But I think the calling was quite poor from North on this one. They didn't really come up with a lot of innovation in the way that they approached it. When they're doing their set strategies, you could see that Shox has done his research. That Olaf smoke, as it's being coined, goes down, and then Shox just jumping on platform, playing in front of it, because he knows nobody's actually watching for that, right? He's exploiting those things. He has all the information in the world, and nobody on G2 was being punished ever. They could get away with whatever they wanted, and that was reflected on the scoreboard because everybody was relatively even in the fragging power, and great to see. I have a talking point, Jason, if you don't mind.
Talk away, Chad.
Okay. Henry was talking about it just then, that third round buy where we're seeing Galils and maybe AK head armors coming in to exploit, the CTs or the Ts. Doesn't really matter on what side, where they're just keeping those SMGs. Looking pretty powerful at the moment, but for me, it'd be something very easy to shut down. Just means that, you do something more aggressive as a unit. You don't play so strung out with those SMGs. You play more aggressive, you make a move, you find out what weaponry they have, and then you can adjust your play style from there. Something interesting that G2 are throwing in, but I think, there is an easy fix for it.
I think the big problem is obviously the CTs can't know if the Ts are going to go for that actual buy, because if they don't, plant the bomb, and sometimes they just go for double eco, you don't really expect those Galils to come out in the 3rd round necessarily, so you're just treating it as another anti-eco round, but then you have just Galils, taking long-range fights, and that's where even a Galil has an advantage over the UMP.
Let's keep this conversation on G2, as now they're up 2-0. I mean, these guys have been the winners of both of these first maps, obviously. Like you said, this time it's not just Kenny S carrying. It's a full team effort going. I think the top to bottom on that map was only 2 or 3 frags, maybe. I mean, how do you stop this G2 team that has all this individual skill, and they now have the teamwork behind it? I mean, is this looking like a scary G2 that's going to win this 3-0?
And they have all the momentum, right? Being up 2-0 and then defeating, basically ruining North on their own map pick, right? It's going to be very, very difficult. This is where G2 is at their most dangerous. They have the momentum. That means the communication is great. Everyone's on point. You can see that Kenny continues to have a great game for the team. So for North, it basically has to be getting off to a strong start, kind of forcing G2 to cool down a little bit.
I think one of the things that I thought from Cage was that we didn't see G2 looking super prepared, right? It was a close match, so no team was really a favorite in my book. There was just little margins that made it go in the favor of G2 as opposed to North. But on this map, it's very clear-cut. Everything looked like G2 was prepared for what North had to throw at them, especially with their T-side strategies. It seemed like G2 had an answer for every execute, every move, every decision.
Because actually Cbble was one of the 3 maps that North did play in the tournament. Now we go to Overpass, which is a map they did not have to play in this tournament just yet. So that might be another example of G2 focusing more on their own game rather than trying to counter North.
The mind games come in now because, like I was saying earlier, the overextensions by individuals, Magic's boy and Config, especially on Overpass when they push up aggressively into places like Connector, Fountain, even going all the way up to Playground sometimes, that can be exploited. And we've already seen G2 do that to a team like SK. They were punishing Fur time and time again. Are
we going to see more of that overextension? Because you got to feel North players have to feel like they have to make a play happen. They have to make some kind of magic occur. Like someone is going to be going chasing for some kind of a miracle.
They can't allow these openings to happen for G2. Basically, what you saw here on Cbble was when those B executes would come in, Config is a bit, further up than his team. And he would actually get an entry kill. I think 2 or 3 rounds, he would get that first kill on B platform. But then he wanted to capitalize on that kill too fast. And the smokes were still flying in. The rest of the team wasn't in position to follow up. And then he dies. They don't have that first guy coming in while the flashes are popping, then they get counter-flashed, the incendiaries come in from the CTs, and they get mowed down like that round we saw from MBK.
Yes, either way, we're going to have to go to a quick break. It is G2 with a 2-0 lead in this grand finals of ESL Pro League Season 5. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll see if North can make a historic comeback.